Rumors are that allegedly the biggest story surrounding Porsha may actually have been a complete lie. What was that story? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly the biggest story surrounding Porsha may actually be one big lie. What is that story? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more, and here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly Porsha's biggest lie has been debunked. Everyone knew the story was too outrageous to believe, said one source. If you're going to put out a fake story like that, then at least make it believable. Allegedly, the story was so far-fetched that producers behind the scenes laughed. Also, said the source, some producers on other reality TV shows were more shocked that something outlandish as this story would even be on the table for an iconic franchise like Real Housewives of Atlanta. The source continued, I had one producer friend from another hit reality TV show reach out to me asking, could this story even be real? Is Bravo that crazy or desperate? Ended the source. The alleged lie definitely set social media on fire and raised Porsha's celebrity profile. So the question is, what allegedly was said about Porsha that made her even more suspicious looking to the audience and to producers? Well, sources say the huge lie was Porsha receiving $5 million to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. Sources believe the rumor may have been allegedly released by Porsha's camp for attention or for negotiation purposes. However, other sources are saying that the deal was absolutely real and only fell apart because Porsha allegedly asked for more money and didn't agree to production wanting to make Simon her storyline. Many industry insiders called that also a lie on the claim as well. One source said, Porsha can be greedy, but not that greedy. $5 million would have made her the highest paid housewife in history. That alone would have been a huge ego boost for her, continued the source. Secondly, if Bravo was willing to pay Porsha the entire production cost, then she would have known that they would want to make Simon and her private life their main priority. Something I'm sure Porsha wouldn't have mind sacrificing for a $5 million payday, ended the source. This big alleged lie had everyone suspicious, said another source. Even the current cast was allegedly investigating its truth. Why? I can only imagine, said the source, them trying to figure out how could someone who's been missing in action for almost 2 years receive a $5 million payday after they put all the work in to bring Real Housewives of Atlanta back to its glory days. So, the question is now, is the story finally solved? Is the mystery finally being brought to life? Well, sources say absolutely. And a good thing it is a lie. Because if it had been the truth, then I can only imagine the chaos it could have caused for this season's production. Alright, kinfolk, there you have it. Now, when I got this information about this story about Porsha receiving $5 million finally being solved and revealed as a lie, I wasn't surprised, and I wasn't surprised because of this reason. $5 million, from what my sources are telling me, is pretty much the entire production cost for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Why would someone pay a cast member the entire production cost to bring them back after the season when they were made the main focal point and their storyline was the main focal point, and it was one of their lowest rated seasons, if not their lowest? So why would you come and make the entire focus of a season around a person who could not deliver the ratings when they were considered the main character? It never made sense, but in the Bravo universe, stranger things have happened. So with that being said, it kind of could have been seen as one big lie just off the alone. However, when you factor in the fact that Porsha's spinoff show was canceled and that it doesn't appear she's giving a wedding special, a lot of people said that freed up a lot of money in production budget on Porsha shows that they could just give to her to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. However, my sources are telling me that even with that logic, it didn't really make sense because Porsha's production cost for her own spinoff wasn't that much. It wasn't $5 million exactly, but it definitely wasn't that much to make up a $5 million deficit to give her to return to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it brings me to the second part of this rumor that I found very interesting, and it's this. I do believe that Porsha's team could have pulled this PR stunt just to kind of raise her celebrity profile and get people to talking. So if she did return to the franchise, everyone would think, oh my goodness, Porsha was so needed and such an integral part of the success of the franchise that Bravo gave her $5 million to return. Now, Bravo could have given her $100,000 to return, but the story that it would have been on everyone's mind is that Porsha is back and she's back for $5 million. So it was a very smart play if you believe the speculations that her team was the one who released this information. Now, however, my sources are saying that Porsha just really played her off-season hand very wrong. And she played it wrong in a couple of places. The first place that my sources are saying that she played her hand badly in the off-season was when her reality show, her spinoff, aired. She just did not open up about her relationship. And my sources are saying that if she was willing to open up a little bit, just a little bit more about the true nature of her relationship, then producers of Real Housewives of Atlanta could have seen it as a signal that she's ready to talk and that they should bring her back because she's going to give them what they needed to make the season interesting for her narrative and storyline. However, when she didn't do that, it seems like she was signaling to the production that the nature and true nature of her relationship with Simon, the door was really closed on it and actually locked on it. Now, the second part my sources say that Porsha played her hand badly in the off-season was something regarding her public image and PR. Even though she released her book that kind of sort of helped give a little more in-depth insight into who Porsha was as a person, they say it still didn't go far enough to rehabilitate her brand to make her more attractive to the franchise, which is very important because it brings me to the third part of the rumor, which is this. It seems as if she really may have been, what sources are saying and what rumors are, trying to use this $5 million stunt as a way to get more money out of Simon, and not necessarily to rehabilitate her image with fans or with the network. Why is that? Well, a lot of YouTubers have been suggesting that maybe she did the $5 million to show Simon that this is how much I'm worth as a person, as a star. And if you don't want me to be on this reality TV show, and if you're not going to be on it and don't want to be on it, then you're going to have to pretty much give me this $5 million to keep me off and to keep your business and our business out of the public atmosphere. Now, that kind of makes sense if you are to believe that Simon is worth $40 million. Because what's $5 million to a person who has $40 million, right? The only thing about that is this. I just don't believe Porsha would have turned down a $5 million payday from Bravo. That's a very lucrative amount of money for just basically maybe 6 months of work. $5 million that would have set up her, PJ, for pretty much the rest of their lives. And it could have also been a nest egg for her to continue to build wealth off of. So I just honestly believe when you're looking at $5 million in your bank account opposed to $40 million from someone who could very well up and leave you next week, I think that Porsha is smart enough to take the more secure payday and not necessarily the more risky payday. Even without a prenup, it would be kind of hard for her to pull more than $5 million out of Simon, especially if she can't prove that, she is worth that amount of money on paper. Maybe, maybe not. But again, that plays into the risk factor of her turning down the $5 million. And kinfolk, the last part of this room that I find very interesting is this. I am somewhat glad that this story has been debunked and pretty much proven to be a lie. Now, some sources are saying that Porsha really was offered $5 million and she turned it down because the network allegedly, or production allegedly, didn't want to agree to her not filming Simon, and that she actually asked for more money from the network in order to film Simon. Now, if you have to believe those rumors and those speculations, because right now it's all alleged information, it just doesn't seem practical for Bravo to do that. And it doesn't seem practical because it just would have caused a very big rift with the current cast of ladies, like my sources are saying. That would have been a risky move for the network. How do you tell a group of ladies that, hey, we're going to pay you $500,000 up to $1 million or $2 million to return next season, after you have done all the hard work to finally restore the brand and the franchise back to its glory days, and tell them, hey, we're going to pay you upwards between $500,000 to $1 million, $2 million, and then bring Porsha in, someone who was not there helping you out rebuild, someone who has decided that they're not going to open up their real lives to the audience and to the cameras, and pretty much is going to come in and be maybe a supporting cast member or a glorified supporting cast member, and you're going to pay her $5 million. I can imagine, as we reported when this rumor first came out, that would have just automatically been a no-go for I know Candy and I know Kenya. Two people who are very integral parts in making Real Housewives of Atlanta successful. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. Did you ever think that this $5 million payday rumor was factual? Or do you think it was all lies from the beginning? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.